your first time that you're visiting this channel, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I have a rideshare channel known as the Rideshare Professor. I advise drivers worldwide, here in the US and abroad, on how to maximize your earnings in the rideshare business with Uber or Lyft or other companies. And very often, when you run into problems with your cars, and there's literally millions of drivers out there in this industry, you want to make sure that A, you're shopping at the right price, B, you get that part in time, because time is money, especially if your car's down for a day or two, or shipments are delayed, etc. That is going to cost you money, right? You want to know that the company has great customer service, right? You want to know that they have phone numbers, customer care lines, or some way to get hold of the company when things go wrong, right? So there are multiple factors that you are looking at when you are shopping for parts online, and I welcome everyone into the room. But by far, and let me start off with the company that failed time and time again on every single level, right? And I would highly, highly, highly advise you do not use these guys. And that's this one here, PartsGeek. Terrible, terrible company all around. So one thing you're looking at is, how are they shipping out the products, right? This is PartsGeek, no padding inside, and I've tested them multiple times. No padding, completely beaten up boxes, product sticking out here, massive hole at the bottom. Product arrived completely damaged, not once, 2 times in a row. The first time I had to send the product back, thinking, hey, the wrote a message, please make sure that your packages are well padded. Item was defective. The second one arrives, same scenario, all beaten up, right? So PartsGeek, and I'm not just basing this on one experience. I have shopped with these companies before the pandemic and during the pandemic, and I'm going to give you the rundown, right? So PartsGeek screwed up 2 times in a row with the packaging. Good luck to you if you believe you are going to get, this is their website, right? If you are going to get hold of them, right? So with PartsGeek, no one answers the phone. You're going to be on that phone forever, forever, forever. Eventually you get kicked out. The same issue with carparts.com. If there's anything going wrong, you're on that phone, you will phone, you will phone, you will phone, they will kick you out of the line. You never get through to a parts representative or customer service, specifically in the pandemic, right? Now, very often we're lured by the price. Okay, great. These guys are $20 cheaper, for example, on a shock. So I'm going to go with them. I'm going to save myself $20. But what you want to do is you want to definitely go online, for example, let's say car parts. Are they on Facebook, right? Well, PartsGeek, there's no way of calling them or contacting them through social media. They've cut that off. They don't want your complaint. There's no way of reaching them on the phone, right? Car parts, for example, you can actually get hold of them, right? You can send a message, and they're very good returning your message online. They're very, very poor to answer the phone. In fact, they don't answer the phone, but they get back to you very quickly if you get through to them through social media like Facebook. They get back, right? So I ordered multiple parts pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, shocks, you name it, alternators, wheels, etc., right? Just got packages coming in from all sides. I make notes. Who did I order what from? I'm also price conscious. But as I order, I learn. And the one thing I can tell you, I will never, ever order from PartsGeek again. Stockwise, for example, lived up to all my expectations. Summit Racing, before the pandemic and during the pandemic, Stockwise before the pandemic and during the pandemic, lived up to all my expectations. They had customer service. They answered the phones. The prices were so-so. They weren't quite the car parts prices or the PartsGeek prices. They might have been $20, $30 more expensive here or there on specific products. But they had a great return policy. They were on top of things. They would answer their phones. They would get back to you. And very, very, very important, right? The shipping time. And this is again where PartsGeek screws up majorly, right? PartsGeek will entice you with low prices, quick shipping times. In fact, the product that arrived defective, right, 2 times in a row, came 6 days later with PartsGeek, 6 days after the scheduled delivery date that they advertised. So completely deceptive shipping dates. Maybe they are using cheap carriers or slow carriers, but time here is money. You do not want your cars to be down, especially if you have a fleet of private vehicles, right? You do not want your vehicles to be down. You want to make sure that you either schedule that order prior a service, or if things go horribly wrong, you shop around quickly and you make sure you're getting the right price at the right delivery time. Sadly, during the pandemic, also to a degree understandable that FedEx, all of the shipments that I received during the pandemic were delayed. Some only by a day, but with PartsGeek, again, 6 days late. With car parts, 6 days late. When I filed a complaint with car parts, they immediately rectified it. They immediately sent the products overnight, a replacement. With PartsGeek, I just could not get through, online or on the phone. Hopeless. Still chasing my money, still chasing the refunds. A complete no-no. Damaged products arrived, faulty products arrived. This particular one here that I'm showing you, again, Stockwise, on time, each time. They are arriving today at the end of the day. They will probably arrive here 6, 7 p.m., always on time. Summit Racing, always on time. Jegs, always on time. Car parts, not on time. PartsGeek, horribly not on time, right? So I've given you a little bit of a rundown. You're more than welcome to share your feedback, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, you want to compare these, you will see these logos. Summit got a thumbs up. In fact, Summit got a double thumbs up, and that's from the history of ordering from them and ordering during the pandemic. Highly recommend this company. Stockwise, great prices, great service. Also, 2 thumbs up. Products arrive on time, great. Car parts, products do not arrive on time. Pricing, semi-misleading. But if you do have a big issue, they're quick and they'll replace it. PartsGeek simply fails you on every single level. Customer service, no phones, no way to contact them through social media, deceptive shipping dates, terrible packaging. I now start looking at the ways the companies package up their products. If people put the time and the money into a secure, tight box, fitly, with products tightly fitted, well padded, then you can understand that they're charging a little bit more. It's companies like PartGeeks, right, that will cut corners and maybe instead of offering you a front shock at $350, they will come in at $320. Why? Because they will save on all other ends. And this is not once, ladies and gentlemen, right? I can't really fault a company if something goes wrong once. This here is multiple times. So PartsGeek's completely out of the race. These two are in the race. Another one, great one, Jegs, is in the race. Car parts, out of the race for me in the future. I won't be shopping on car parts and PartsGeek anymore. I will continue shopping on Stockwise, Summit, and Jegs. Dennis Torres is in the house. Long Beach. Rick Nelson is in the house. REG is in the house. Michael Levitt's in the house. Scott Tucker is in the house. Iluta is in the house. Jay Morris is in the house. I hope Yassine is in the house. I welcome you all. Maybe some of you out there, anyone out there ever done any online shopping for parts? more than welcome to share your experiences as you enter this room, right? Because this channel here, if you come across this video and if you want to share your story, good or bad, right, praise or criticism, please leave your comments so we can learn. I'm sharing my experiences with you so we can learn. I connect with thousands and thousands of, hundreds of thousands, millions of viewers in my channels, right, throughout the world. And if I can give them information from my learning experiences, I think that is a wealth of knowledge that you can take back and say, oh, well, he warned me about this company, so I better be careful here, right? Or he highly recommended this one company over here, Stockwise, so maybe I'll try them out. At first, believe me, as we type in the part into Google, right, we are looking at prices. But sometimes those prices are so far apart that we are misled by the pricing. These guys are notorious for that. And that is, and the reason for that is sometimes they will ship you products that are returns. Sometimes they will ship you faulty products, and they do not spend the money packaging up your case, your box properly so that your product arrives in one piece. This here, the product was sticking out everywhere, massive holes, gashes. And again, this is not the first box that I've received from them like this. This is already the second box. So the Truth Warrior is in the house. How are you? Yassine says, I'm using Amazon or eBay. So far, I haven't seen any problems. Look, I buy a lot of products on Amazon and eBay as well. And I gotta say, if you can specifically on used parts, right? Used parts, I will highly, 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 highly recommend eBay, right? Because the people there are fighting for their ratings. They don't have a rating system, right? That's a really, really good point you brought up, Yassine. These guys don't have a rating system. People will leave comments on Yelp. People will leave comments on Google reviews, and you should hammer them if they give you shitty service, and you should praise them if they give you great service, 5 stars, 1 star, for example, right? But on Amazon and eBay, the sellers go beyond because they want a super high 97, 98, 100% rating. They will put the time and effort into communication. They will put the time and effort on eBay. I've really never, ever been disappointed with the packaging, especially on used parts. These companies are not selling used parts. So for my used parts, it's great that you brought it up. I go to eBay. If I can find the product on Amazon.com, I'll go to Amazon.com, but I compare the prices, right? Very often. James Campbell, love you, brother. He says, thank you for responding to my contact, Mike Maffey, Penn State Labor Relations Assistant Professor at Mike Maffey at Gmail, wants to hear from drivers. So if you want to email that gentleman your story, the good or the bad, the ugly or the nice about Uber and Lyft, and just say, hey, Mike Maffey at Gmail, I'm available for any questions. He's doing a massive nationwide survey with Penn State. Penn State has a whole department dedicated to you, right? So reach out to him, Mike Maffey at gmail.com, and say, hey, how can I help you, right? These guys are pushing for change. These guys like Mike Maffey and James Campbell are helping us push for change. The more pressure you put on rideshare companies, the more pressure you put on car parts companies, the better they start performing, right? Because we literally hold the spotlight, the light on the cockroaches and expose them if anything goes wrong. So reach out to Mike Maffey. He's with Penn State Labor Relations. Just say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm the Truth Warrior, or I'm Dennis Torres. Feel free to send me your survey. They mounting the pressure on Uber and Lyft. They're going to be putting out a lot of information that could be uncomfortable or comfortable for Uber or Lyft, right? My guess is it's going to be more uncomfortable than comfortable, right? But they are helping getting the word out. Mervin's in the house. Mervin's constantly having issues with Lyft. He sounds extremely upset with Lyft. He's sending me email after email, and he said, call these bastards out. So, you know, Lyft, you got to up your game. And if Mervyn wants to highlight why he's upset with Lyft, he can do it here, right? I'm not going to make dedicated videos to each individual, right? Otherwise, I would just be working all day long and making videos on complaints. You get to voice that here on Our House Mondays or through the channel, the good, the bad, the ugly, or the nice, right? That's what I'm doing today with online car shopping. I want to put some perspective into packaging, pricing, shipping, etc., right? So again, thanks, James Campbell, for that awesome lead. We appreciate you, brother. So what the things that I look at is obviously, okay, what are the shipping times? How long do I have to wait for this product? If it goes over the shipping date, I can start contacting FedEx. I can start contacting the company. Hey, why is this product late, right? Time is money in your world, especially if I have a fleet of cars. I got to be on top of things, right? So let's go over it. Ladies and gentlemen, an amazing company that I can highly recommend. Let me click on them here. Here they are. Summit, this little red logo, 2 thumbs up. They have more racing products, right? Sometimes they have other good products. Jegs, they have a whole wide variety of products. I have not shipped Jegs during the pandemic. I've ordered from Jegs multiple times prior to the pandemic. Also 2 thumbs up. Next one here, Stockwise. I just want to show you the logo so you can familiarize yourself with what I'm showing you here. Stockwise as well. That's the logo, Stockwise Auto. Great on customer service, very good on pricing, and they ship on time. Absolute double no-no on every level. I would stay 1,000,000 miles away from PartsGeek. Horrible, no customer service, atrocious, send you faulty products. How can you get hold of them? You can go through Facebook if you cannot reach them on the phone, right? And those are some of the things that you can do as you shop around. So James Campbell says that was exactly 200 letters, right? So I bet you try to type out the YOU and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm over 100, right? Or I'm over 200 and I'm on 203. So let me cut it back. Where can I cut it back? I'll cut it back on the U. So dedicated to you. So you write on 200. That's how it works, right? We turned the A and D into an @ sign. If you want to get all the information in on a post or on a tweet, got to get creative. Ask James Campbell. Dennis says, I have, but I do not do it on eBay. 12 years, 2 issues, got a refund in both issues along with the parts. Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you for that type of feedback. That's super important. Scott Tucker says, go to Rock Auto. If you could share with us, Scott, your experiences with Rock Auto. I have not shopped on Rock Auto. I've only, for motorbike parts, I've shopped on Rocky Mountain, and I got to say, probably one of the best shopping experiences I've had with Rocky Mountain as far as motorbike parts goes. Yanis Marantos, are you still in Europe? He uses AZ Auto House. Let us know, good or bad, ugly or nice, how AZ Auto House was to you, Yanis, how Rock Auto was to you, Scott. OEM parts, rock bottom prices. So it sounds like from your response, Scott, is that you are happy with Rock Auto. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying that incorrectly. Michael Everett says, New Jersey just lifted stay-at-home order. Okay, good. So things will start opening up there. I will also be doing another video on Vegas. This came across a very, very interesting video about the Vegas market, which I think applies to all markets. It's sort of really this one video captures what's going on in the rideshare industry with riders and drivers. So I want to make a video on that. Mervyn, let's read out Mervin's complaint. He says, Friday, Lyft cut me off, tells me they're doing my background check, and I'm going to take 14 days. I told him 14 days, no work. That's outrageous. Can't win. So here's my question to you. When they ran that background check, something must order them in order for them to cut you off. Why would they run the background check and not cut you off? So you have to be honest here. What showed up? If you know what showed up, how do I fix it? Do I need to go down and speak to a manager at the DMV? Do I need to go into the courthouse and speak to the clerk of the court and say, dear clerk, how are you today? Can I get a hearing before the judge on one of my prior issues, which was a speeding fine case number so-and-so? Sure, we'll set up another date. You want to get these records eliminated against you, because guess what? Every 6 months or so, they're going to run a background check, right? Just like I'm checking in on all of these companies here, right? How are they performing, right? I'm sort of doing a background check on these guys. You do the same, right? You're getting the same done with you with Lyft and Uber. They're running background checks on you. And the last 6 months might not have been exactly as the previous 6 months, right? Maybe there was a speeding ticket. Maybe you got pulled over for something. Maybe your license plates were out. Well, guess what? That will all show up in your DMV records. And if Uber or Lyft can, have any reason to cut you off because maybe you retaliated on another issue, maybe you got into a shouting match in the past with customer service, right? They say, well, maybe this is a future problem. We'd rather cut him off here. But now you are entitled by law to an appeal. And my suggestion is, if you are appealing something and they still deny you and you know you're in the right, take the issue to small claims court. Do not hesitate. Take the issue to small claims court, right? I froze on the other one there. Damn, I was freezing on my other channel. So I'm going to cut it short in this one channel. Thank you for watching. I'm going to carry on with the Rideshare Professor channel. Thank you. Charge that one up, see what type of messages have come in. Cheryl is in the house. Yep, she says video is frozen, and it was frozen in a horrible state with my mouth open. Looked silly, but that's because that's too funny. So I cut that one off. I'm on this one here. Scott Tucker says, I'll call out living customers to Uber and Lyft and back it up with evidence. Always collect your evidence. Dash cam, screenshots, communication. If you type something, right, and you can already see there's going to be problems, take a screenshot of the back and forth communication, especially when it comes to masks, right? Charlie, yeah, it's fixed, but I cut that feed off pretty quickly because it froze. Battery issues. Mervyn Khan says the minute they start the background check, they cut you off. That is not true. If they were running background checks on all of you and they would cut you off during a background check, they usually cut you off after they have run the background check and they see things show up. They don't run a background check anticipating good or bad and just cut you off anyway for the sakes of cutting you off. They would be losing so much money. They will cut you off if something shows up on your background check. I mean, I'm not buying that, Mervyn. Sorry, buddy. But you say the minute they start the background check, they cut you off, does not make any sense to me. That means everyone that undergoes a background check, it didn't happen with me. They ran a background check. They said, do I give them permission to run the background check? They send it periodically. Yes, I do. They run it. No issue. I was not offline because they were running a background check. My guess is something showed up, right? Another issue is you have to first agree to run the, well, that's what I said. You have to agree to run the background check. So they cut you off, and then you have to agree in the agreement, and then they start. I've seen my experience. Daniel, greetings. How are you? Daniel says catalytic converter, nightmare and expensive. From which company? Name the company that you bought it from. So my connection here is rather unstable. Reconnecting for some reason. Should be back online. They send you, they're notifying you they're going to be running the background check. Do you consent to that? You have to. Otherwise, if you don't consent to that, then you cut off. But you consent to it, they will run it, and you keep on driving. Now, if there's something shows up, yes, they'll cut you off. But if everything's okay, you keep on driving. So not quite sure if I'm following you, Mervyn. I would go and look at your DMV record. I would go and look if something is showing up. Is there something that happened with the DMV in the last 6 months? Is there something happened in the court system that cut you off? That is what I would focus on. And if everything is squeaky clean, appeal it. Scott Tucker says, Daniel, I spent $300 at Rock Auto for that converter. Truth Warrior, Lyft stinks, makes you drive out of your way to get rides. Truck drivers call this deadhead miles, correct, dead miles. Uber gave me one false report. That was a heads up for me to quit ASAP. Good. I mean, at least you acted on it, right? You acted on their incompetence. Rick Nelson says, had a problem with Lyft background check. Took 9 months to find the problem. Switched from EIN to SS number for tax purposes. Wow. And that took them 9 months to sort that crap out. They must be understaffed. Scott Tucker says, and they get it as cheap for as $150 for the catalytic converter. So getting a little bit of feedback. My feedback is plain and simple. Where will I continue shopping? On Stockwise and Summit. Where will I stop shopping? PartsGeek and carparts.com. Not worth the headache, not worth the frustrations. Here I'm actually still fighting for the right products and fighting for refunds. James Campbell says, I got deactivated and I never even got hit with a background deactivation, and there actually is a ding on my record. So did you get that ding on your record expunged, or how did that all play out? Just curious. I said, Mervyn, I think you got to walk us through all the sequence of events, right? I would really look at the last 6 months. If you know there's nothing wrong, then maybe you want to take the matter to small claims court, right? Because 14 days of losing money is a lot of money. And who knows if it's going to be 14 days, might be more than 14 days. Giannis says, from my experience when I was back in the States, and used AZ Order House, I was happy with them. They're based out of Arizona. That's cool. Very often, I also shop through catalogs. They have an online website, for example. This is where I get all my Chevy products, truck and car shop. It's where I buy all my classic products. But I prefer to go and walk into the store. If they have a brick and mortar company, brick and mortar meaning if they actually have a physical office, drive there. I know it might take you half an hour to drive somewhere, but you can check, test, see, and make sure everything's fine right there and then. Not wasting time, might be able to negotiate a little bit of a better deal versus taking a little bit of a risk online. Giannis is still in Greece. Must be heating up there in Greece. We're marching towards summer. James Campbell says, Uber approved me after I showed good conduct since the said ding, along with electronics degree I obtained since the incident. Yeah, wonderful. Excelente, excelente. Let's see, do we have messages? I have someone. Rick Nelson says, once you get deactivated, it usually takes 3 days to process, may take longer with no hubs open. Yeah, with hubs not open and you're relying on customer service, on emails, you're in for a much, much longer haul. Sometimes you can get things resolved in the hub between 24 to 72 hours. Scott Tucker says, PUA unemployment on the inbound tonight. That's sweet. That's good. That's good news. James says, Uber approved me on 01/21/18 and deactivated me on 10/17/2019. So you basically got almost 21, 22 months. 22 months, you made 6,600 trips. That's hardcore. That's impressive. So I did get while I'm reading a lot of the deactivation stories, Alex sends me an email from 702 from Nevada, Vegas, probably. Hello there. This is Alexandra Matai, Uber driver in Las Vegas area, 4 years, Uber organization, over 12,000 rides, super impressive, which 6,500 5 stars. When Uber put my account under review, I got 4.96, almost perfect. May the 12th this year, they put me on hold for the time being with 3 different reasons, which none of them makes any sense. My background check, my email address, you name it. It's been almost a month. I really don't know what to do at this point. If you can help, please let me know. Well, Alex, the one thing is go sign up with the opposition, right? If you want to keep on driving, sign up with Lyft and force the issue. If you want to force the issue, you've got to take it to small claims court. That's the only way they wake up and you claim wrongful deactivation, right? If they stating these reasons and they say they deactivated you for 3 reasons and you don't agree with any of those 3 reasons, take it to the law. I mean, it is super, super easy to file a small claims court. It is super, super easy to represent yourself in court with Uber. Usually this type of thing, they'll call you up and say, listen, we're not going to compensate you for that, but we'll reinstate you. They don't want to fly down. They don't want to send a representative to that Nevada courthouse. They don't want to have to send a paralegal down all the way to Las Vegas to represent Uber. They'll get it resolved. So they may say, hey, listen, we don't agree with the monies you're trying to get from us, but we will reinstate you. They'll come up with some bullshit excuse that they reviewed it and you know what, everything's good, everything's fine, just to keep you happy. So force the issue in small claims court. hundreds and hundreds of stories, thumbs up, where people forced the issue in small claims court and got a victory. In fact, I mean, Uber, 2 days before my hearing, called me up about a small claims court matter and wanted to offer me an out-of-court settlement, which I refused, right? And then the pandemic hit in and the case was postponed. JF Kansas, what's the trick to get federal PUA? Again, I would say all depends what city, what state you're in. You may want to reach out, give people some more information. Hey, I'm in such and such a city. Did anyone have any positive experiences? How did you do it? I would also suggest you go to the Facebook room of your city for Uber and Lyft. Put it out there. Drivers support drivers. Drivers tend to rally around their brothers and sisters in a city and says, hey, I did it this way, or I had a success this way. I did it wrong this way, and then I corrected it. I did it. So you can put the information in a live feed. You've got to be a little bit more specific, right? It said I was ineligible, but didn't say why. Again, what city, what state? Again, put that information in the live feed so other people can help you that are maybe in that city. And then definitely go and look for Facebook groups. Uber Los Angeles, Uber Orange County, Uber San Diego. Put that question there. Hey, I applied for PUA on such and such a date, was denied. Is there any recommendations you can give on how you fast-tracked it? Oh, you got a 10K lump sum? I thought you said it was 25. Or you got the state for $8,000, but they're not federal. That's pretty impressive to have $8,000 in the bank. That's oh, 25 is the EDIL, so you'll be raking in the cash. You'll be doing well. You'll be doing really, really well. The superior courts in California are starting to conduct civil matters on Zoom. Yep. Opening it up slowly but surely. If you guys can hit the thumbs up, we're on 15. We have 20 people in the house. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you. We're already on 18. All right, my friends, I think I've been pretty detailed as to online car shopping, car parts shopping, not car shopping, car parts. Let me clarify that. I've highlighted a few companies, the good, the bad, the ugly, the nice. And if Scott, let's say by next week, you might have $35,000. You'll be smiling. More than enough money to start a company and put a lot of money aside. So you should, maybe something good turned for you in the universe. Maybe, as I always believe, things work out for a reason. Things are presented to us for a reason. It's how we interpret that message and what we make of it and how we change direction, how we adapt, how we grow. I'm sure you can all agree the last 90 to 120 days have been a massive, massive growing experience for all of us, right? Massive growth. James Campbell says 19, 19, average age of the soldier in Vietnam was 19. All right, my friends. We're on 19 likes. If we could, thank you. If we could get 20 there, I'd be super happy. Anybody can squeeze out a like so I can start my day in LA. In the 19, thank you. 20, somebody hit that 20 button. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, leave your messages here. Leave your feedback here. If you want to, I can do another live feed on PUA updates, EIDL updates. You know, we can talk EDIL. Yes, I think I said it correctly. So we can go over that. People can give feedback. We'll gladly do that tomorrow if you want to. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. Usually go to the auctions on Tuesdays, but auctions are shut today. Oh, you good? Oh, you swimming in the money, dude. Scott, you swimming in the cash. That's awesome. One second. So this. So you did? Good. Listen, you listened and collected. I love it. Hopefully there was some good advice in what I shared, and I'm really excited for your future. I really am, because I think if you do something and grow something that you're passionate about, way more happiness within, versus, like, let's say Mervyn. I can sense Mervyn is angry. He's upset, right? Rightfully so. Right to be angry with. I would rather be in that happy state versus all the time. You know, in my case, for my money owed to me, rightfully owed to me through the court system, right? And I obviously made my decision not to drive with Uber, not to drive with Lyft anymore. I obviously made my decision to concentrate 100% on private clients. So I made some big decisions, right? But sometimes we've got to make those tough decisions. And I can tell you right now, with what's going on in the last 90 days, the universe, I think, made it much, much easier for you to make some big, big decisions. Ask Scott. It's Moose says, you hear about the car dealers in the Bay Area that were looted. They broke and stole the keys and drove off with the cars. Oh my gosh. Well, they'll be caught pretty quickly. You're not going to drive around. You can't register those cars. You're driving around in a stolen car. Eventually, cops pull you over 4 months later. Whoop, whoop. Hey, we have that on that stolen list in San Francisco. Arrest. Thanks, Scott. All right, my friends. If you are coming into this video for the first time and you are doing car parts shopping, or online shopping as I call it, whether it's on Amazon, whether it's on eBay, whether it's on carparts.com, whether it's on Jegs.com, whether it's on summitracing.com, whether it's on stockwiseauto.com, whether it's on PartsGeek.com, Leave your feedback. Pretty big warning to stay away from them. I gave 2 thumbs up for these guys. These companies I'm done with, completely done with, just based on negative experiences. And then you go and find the Nevada version of Potter and Handy, and they're out there. In fact, you can even reach out to Potter Handy. They have a law firm that they know that covers the equivalent in Vegas. You can reach out to Tim or Tim at Potter Handy. Tell them I sent you. Say, hey, Tim, right, professor sent me. Apparently you have a good contact in Nevada. Right, get the process going. As you get your new company going, you know, allow a process to take place against with a firm like Potter Handy against Uber and Lyft simultaneously. Rick Nelson, you have a great day. Tris says you make a run for the border real quick. Who's running to oh, I see. When they steal the car, they make a run for the border. Good luck with that one. Don't know if you're going to get that stolen car over the border. Wouldn't take the chance. Doesn't make any sense. Unless you're going to strip that car down, parts, you have some underground garage. I've seen those underground garages in South Africa. I got a tip, try to get one of my car. I had a GTI 16-valve racing, beautiful car, and we try to retrieve it, try to find my stolen vehicle in South Africa. Sort of led us to an underground shop bunker where they were stripping cars down. Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. All right, my friends, I think we covered it all. Thank you again for the likes. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for your feedback, good and bad. You know, we learn, we grow, we share. We learn, we grow, we share. And as long as we keep on moving forward, not backwards, right? It's Moo says they have stripped a lot of the cars. Some of the cars were Dodge Hellcats. Ooh, they stole those cars for the parts, I can tell you that. Damn. It's sad that people can't make money the honest, real way. They have to go out there and steal and loot. I find that disgusting. And I hope their fate is determined by, you know, a sentence, few years, deserve that at least. Go and sit in the slammer for stealing cars. Learn the hard way. Let those other jailbirds take care of you in the jail. Yeah, as you should walk away from rideshare, because the universe has sent you some really powerful messages and gifts, Scott Tucker, right? Your destiny is heading in a different direction right now. Amen, says Tris. Love it. Love it. All right, I want to thank you all again for hanging out, again, sharing. Please do comment, ordering parts during the pandemic or pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. Who is good and who sucks? Leave your feedback. Got some good feedback on AZ Auto House, good. Rock Auto, thumbs up. So I can only share the websites that I've shopped on. And the one you want to stay far clear from, I keep on pointing to that side, is PartsGeek. That's a big X. Stockwise Auto, thumbs up. Yeah, Rick Nelson, we can make more money legit than criminal. You'd have nothing to worry about. If you do something criminal, you are constantly worrying every day. Will they find me? Will they arrest me? Will they jail? This is how you live. after you go looting. Even the people that stole one pair of Nike shoes, in the back of their minds, they will never, ever rest. Was I caught on the camera? Wasn't I caught? And that thought's going to go through their head daily. And it's going to preoccupy their thoughts. That's all you're going to be thinking about. I know I'm guilty. Will I be caught? I know I'm guilty. Will I be caught in the future? I know I'm guilty. Will I be caught next week? I know I'm guilty. Will the police show up at my door? It's not worth living like that. It's not worth living like that. Vegas 888, underground chop shop. I've been to one in South Africa. I was taken there to try and retrieve my vehicle. Mafia ran that underground chop shop. You can't believe just stealing cars, coming in, chop down parts. Crazy. And I got taken there by, I think it was like some corrupt policeman that went to speak to those guys because he knew them and said, listen, this is my homie, this is my boy. This guy is a good guy. This guy works for the African folk. He lifts them up. If you have his car, give it back. And the word was the car was there a day or two ago. They stripped it down and they sold all my parts. So I walked away, collected from the insurance. But I wanted that car back because I had imported so many parts from Germany, spent so much time. I wanted that specific car back. It was too late. And I got to see one of those underground chop shops. Insane, massive, 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 massive operation. Didn't have online internet. The car parts didn't end up online back then. This is way, way back. When was this about? This was about 1991. So Scott Tucker says, not to be religious type, the credit goes to the big guy upstairs as I'm feeling blessed. I call it the universe, right? You know, it could be, could have a spiritual belief, could have a religious belief, you could be an atheist, whatever. For me, it's the spirit, it's the universe talking to me. That's how I see it, right? And don't be shy to ask the universe, hey, I need guidance, I'm stuck, what do I do? Just verbalize it. And usually you get guided, right? There's so much going on in the last 90 days. So many changes, right? Just ask. I feel stuck. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. Please guide me, you know, in the right direction. I don't want to feel like this. I want to be happy. I want to succeed. I want to be successful. I tell you what, speak and it will happen. Vegas 888, good question. Did I find my car? They verified that that specific car was there. It was completely chopped up, all the parts. And then what they do is they distribute those parts. So they, did I physically see my car? No. Did they acknowledge that the car was there? Now, these boys, you're not going to mess around. This is the mafia, right? I can't walk in there with a gun as an individual. This is an operation. People run machine guns. That thing is heavily guarded. The cops stay away. The cops are being bribed. They stay away from the chop shop. I was just taken there by a very, very corrupt cop who said, let's see, maybe we can negotiate. And I was willing to pay even to get that car back because, man, I put a lot of money, time, effort into that vehicle. I remember that car. It was a red GTI 16 valve with all the bells and whistles. I wanted that car back. I was a crazy something 20-year-old. I wanted that car back. And the fact that I ended up at a chop shop, underground chop shop in South Africa, in areas where many people just wouldn't walk in. They'd just be way too scared to walk in. But I knew the people, knew how to work the system, knew how to play the system, but my car was gone. Been gone through the chop shop, all the parts taken out, wheels, rims, off they go. You know, they get distributed, sold through whatever channels. Highly, highly, highly organized crime. Highly organized crime. Wicked hustle guy. Man, strange timing. My scooter got stolen out of my driveway today. Ouch. Ooh. Ouch. Sorry about that. Mervyn says, finally found someone at Lyft to help and give a better explanation. It's too long to sit and do here while I'm driving. Can I call into you and give you the full story? It's affecting every driver. Well, it's affecting you. So you're assuming it's affecting every driver, right? And you can come in on our house Mondays and discuss it bit by bit, or here. I don't have the time to address every single issue. And Mervyn, you know, some of your past comments with me were cheap shots, and I've helped you tremendously in the past. I've always answered all your emails on my clock, on my time, on my money. And what you said the other day, I'm rather disappointed, because it has F all to do with rideshare, right? Because I posted something on Facebook that Mervyn did not like. What I do is I cut those people off, Mervyn. That's how I operate in life. You don't get to email me. You don't get to text me. You don't get to comment on Facebook. I cut negativity off by its feet. I cut it off, right? I surround myself by people that want to move forward. Now, you have an issue. I've tried to many a times help you. You can put it out here, right? You can talk about it. I'm still granting you this platform, so you can go for it and talk about it, and people can rally around you, share. But to come out and say it's affecting every driver is a wild, wild, wild assumption. How do you know it's affecting every driver? And please, I want you to explain that. When you make a statement saying it's affecting every driver, please ask other Lyft drivers for their feedback if it's affecting them. This is your platform. You can come in on Our House Mondays. You can talk about it now. People can give you feedback. But my charity time with you has ended, right? There's no one-on-one anymore. Unfortunately, that's who I am. Very, very direct, right? We can support, talk, lift each other up, but you shot below the belt, my friend, and I cut you off. That's how it works. What you speak about, you bring about. You can go and explain here and reach out to Lyft drivers if they are experiencing the same thing. But I am very careful when I say things such as it's affecting every driver. If I hear it from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drivers, the same pattern, if I hear the abuse on Instacart about the tips from hundreds and hundreds of delivery drivers in text mails and emails, I get a big picture and I make a comment. But when one thing happens to you, to Mervyn, you are turning around and you're saying it's affecting every driver. Make your point. Pretend you're in court. I'm the judge. Make your point. Discuss it out here. Let's talk it out, right? Put it out there. Let the other drivers comment on your feedback. Just saying. Just saying. I think we'll get a lot of clarity. Because early on you made a statement that the moment they run a background check on you, they cut you off. I've never heard of that. Has anyone been alerted by Lyft that says, hey, we're going to run a background check on you? You have to consent to that. Yeah, of course you have to consent to that because you want to keep on driving. But to say that the moment I've consented to the background check, I was cut off until the result was in, I've never, ever, ever heard of that. Never. Never heard of that. And I'm here to help. And I mean, I can tell you right now, people know me. And Mervyn, you know my history, our history. I have always answered. I have always gotten back to people and at least tried to give them my experience. And my experience comes from operating with a lot of drivers, right? Because I have a fleet of cars. So I get a lot of feedback, a lot of personal knowledge myself in those different categories because I've driven them all, right? I speak to people in different cities. I get the feedback from Vegas. I get the feedback from San Diego. I get the feedback from Orange County. When you dialed in daily, you get a lot of feedback. And based on the feedback, you start making announcements, suggestions. So you have a golden opportunity to set the record straight here, right now, and talk about what's bothering you. But I advise you, and this comes from studying psychology, don't project your story, your issue onto someone else, right? Don't make your own ill feeling or negative experience with Lyft and Uber, project that onto everyone else. Because I can see that's what's going on. It's called projection, right? It's called projection, right? And a lot of people that are not able to take responsibility or blame, they will blame others. You know, this happened to me. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you, right? Instead of taking responsibility and say, hey, I effed up. This is what I need to do to change it. I'm just putting that out there. The food for thought, my friend. Think about it. If that resonates with you, we're on the right track. But never project, right? Blah, blah, blah happened to me. It's happening to every driver. Based on what? Now, if you have ordered multiple times car parts from different companies and you see patterns, right? The same patterns, late deliveries, broken boxes, defective products, then you come to a conclusion. Vegas 888. Mervyn, listen to this. Listen and learn. Vegas 888. I had a background. It just showed up on my email. I didn't get deactivated. You do not get deactivated because they're running a background check. You consent to a background check, and then they get back to you and say, this showed up, you deactivated, or everything is good, you keep on driving. It's very simple. It's not difficult. It's simple math. 1 and 1 equals 2, my friend. Not 1 and 1 equals 3. Silence. Silence. Silence is deafening. Ortra says, not unless something concerning came up that was maybe a liability. Could be, right? Could be. Sherelle, wise words. People project unconsciously. We try to be self-aware and withdraw our projections. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. If you self-aware, if you truly know, let me look at my story first before I start projecting, before I start blaming everyone else. We know a few very well-known people that do that, right? Blame everyone else around them, but don't take responsibility for their own actions. We know people. I'm not going to mention the name. So if you're self-aware, hey, you know, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to change my outlook on this. Maybe I need to change my attitude. Maybe I need to listen more instead of pointing fingers. Watch what happens. Watch how things start changing around you. Watch how people start coming to you. Watch how people want to be part of you versus back off from you. Right? If you known, and I'm talking general, I'm not picking any individual out. If you known in a group, in a friend group, to blame everyone else for all your troubles, people get sick and tired of that shit. Oh, we don't want to, I want to go to that party. I don't want to be around that individual. Oh, there comes so-and-so. I don't want to be here. And they move on. It's all body language, interpretation, experience. Scott Tucker says, Torsten, that happened to me 2 years ago, but I found out that exact name guy was arrested for check cashing fraud. They suspended me for weeks. And I'm sure that type of an issue has affected hundreds of drivers. But you're not going around, Scott, and saying this affects everyone. What I went through affects everyone. It could potentially affect that and that and that person. It did happen to me, and this is how I corrected it, right? So, we have our individual stories. And Tris is right. It's very, very, very hard to change a narcissist. Very hard. I have seen them. I've heard them. I've confronted them. They're always right. You're always wrong, right? And as Tris said, it won't matter if you're a narcissist. They won't change. Narcissist or narcissism is so deeply embedded, enshrined in your DNA. No one can tell you what to do because you're always right. Say no more. And man, I have lost subscribers over these type of, which is fine, which is good. My channel, I'm opinionated. I give my advice. Some people don't like that advice. Oh, I'm going to unsubscribe. I don't like what you said. Okay, go. I'm not forcing you to stay here, right? What I am trying to do is find like-minded people that will lift each other up, like-minded people that will lift me up, like-minded people that I can create win-win situations with. If I say something and you're like, whoa, I'm going to win, you're going to lose, I don't agree with your opinion, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Not hurting me. I'm not here to fight for subscribers. I'm here because I'm having a good time and I want to grow with people. It's called self-growth, right? And my track record there is pretty good. The messages that I get are pretty nice, pretty cool. You cannot satisfy everyone. And there will be people that will come back and say, you know what? I disagree. That's okay. It's okay to disagree. Nothing wrong with that. But to blame, to point, to judge, to blame, to point, to judge, not once, not twice, 10 times, 20 times, to blame, to point, to judge. You got to look at the pattern and say, you want to be part of that? No, what you want to be part of, what Sherelle wants to be part of, what Scott wants to be part of in his future company is constantly building win-win situations. Because win-win situations mean the guy is going to book you again and again and again. That means that the person's going to go back to Scott and use his services again and again and again because it is in a mutual, equitable exchange of beneficial energy between Scott and that individual as he's growing his company. They'll want to work together again because they win together. They win, and they move forward. And they win again, and they win again. But if you run into people that try to put you in the losing situation, to try to put you down, try to diminish you, try to tell you that you are wrong, try to blame you for things you did. Do you want to be around people like that? Hell no. Done. You move on. I married one. Yeah, you know, you marry. Let's say you marry one. Let's say you marry a narcissist. Eventually, it doesn't work out for you. Eventually, you are sick and tired of that pattern of abuse, of being put down, of being shouted at. Here's the papers, honey. Here's the divorce papers. Have a great day. Right? Done. Relation's over. I'm now ready for a win-win situation. Any non-narcissists out there? Any people that believe in win-win situations? I am no longer going to be in a relationship, personal relationship, business relationship, and I'm just talking in general, not just about me, for everyone. Go out and you create win-wins, win-wins, win-wins. Not I lose, you win, I lose, you win, I lose, you lose, victim, victim. No. Walk around life seeking win-win situations. Vegas 888. Annual background. I've never been deactivated during or after a background check. Amen. Thank you very much. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm saying that because I've heard the story from hundreds and hundreds of people. I have not seen that pattern. And that's why I'm saying to this individual, Mervyn, who is extremely quiet, I've called on you, Mervyn, you can speak, right? You have a golden opportunity. We invite you to speak. But you don't want to speak. You want to make a general allegation. Let's get it cleared right here and now. Right here and now. I'm still waiting for Mervyn. I'm going to wait another 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm done with this feed. But I've given him this golden, golden, golden opportunity to grow here. Without judgment, nobody's judging him, but like to get down to the bottom of things. And I'm like a laser gun. I'll laser in on the problem. We'll try to fix it, but some people do not want to be fixed. I cannot fix them. You cannot fix them. They can only fix themselves. And we're not saying, and I'm not saying that this specific individual needs to go fix himself. No, I'm not. I'm just giving this specific individual a platform to grow here, to discuss, to get clarity. Wicked hustle guy, I say give him the benefit of the doubt. Always give him the benefit of the doubt. But this is an ongoing conversation. And I've received message after message after message after message. I've given feedback after feedback after feedback. Get message of same story, same record, same record. Not me, them. Not me, them. And that's it. Somewhere you draw the line. No, much love back. No, you're right. I will always give someone that I don't know, give them the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, if you're in a relationship, you married, let's say you're married to a narcissist and you see the same pattern again and 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 again. Eventually, I'm guessing ask Tris, eventually you say enough is enough. You don't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. The benefit of the doubt is over. You know why? Because you need a cut. You need to cut the umbilical cord, get rid of the toxin, get rid of the toxicity, and you move on into win-win. And it's hard. It's hardcore stuff. It's not easy. Not easy. It's okay. If you say, Tris, I think you scared him off, maybe I'm a little bit too intense for the individual, but I've had this conversation for a long time. A long time. You know, you can lead, what do they say? You can lead a horse to the water. Cannot force him to drink. Cannot force them to drink. Anyway, we went a little bit off course here, but I'm glad I covered the essentials of what I really wanted to talk about. Online car part shopping. And I got a lot of good feedback. And then we drifted off into deeper psychological things, matters. I want to leave on this note because I think this is very powerful. Wicked Hustle Guy says, seriously, I totally agree. Not everyone is out for our best interests. And finding that out makes our lives ultimately better. So if we can channel those words into our relationship with Uber and Lyft, right? So you say, let's say Uber and Lyft are not necessarily out for our best interest. They're definitely out for their best financial interest, right? And finding that out, learning that on how they may have abused drivers, no PPE, no health benefits, no this, cutting pay. You eventually make your own life better because you learn from it, you grow, and you move on, right? That is why I think both Uber and Lyft have such, not just because of the pandemic, but I think they have such a big void. And I'm going to do a video about Vegas a little bit later, that this one driver, right, he explains very, very well when he gets interviewed on TV. He explains very well what the mindset is of the driver currently. And when I listened to that mindset, I could not agree more, because that is the mindset, and I'll be talking about this all across the country, all across the world. And I think that is why Uber and Lyft are hurting. And that is why I think that Uber and Lyft you're already starting to see these, Phoenix, $250, X amount of trips per week. Now they're trying to throw out some of those very, very old, good offers. Hey, big numbers, but please come back. Please come back. The damage is done. You've learned from the damage. You've either moved on or you climb back into the same hamster wheel and you do the same song and dance and you get shafted once again, and we still haven't learned. So we're in that same rut, in that same hamster wheel. Or we recognize, okay, not with me, buddy. Company, you're not going to do that with me. Amazon worker, no, I'm sorry. You're not going to do that with me. Instacart, sorry, you're not going to do that with me as a gig worker. And you start searching for other alternatives. Maybe the alternative is Postmate. Maybe it's Grubhub. Maybe it's becoming an Amazon driver, right? FedEx drivers here, I saw an offer, $38. $38 per hour, right? Where is this? Where is this offer? Personal vehicle drivers needed. Drivers needed. $38 an hour. Sign up here. Come on in. UPS, looking for drivers, $38 an hour. So let's say you were driving for that one company and you're like, screw it. They've always screwed me over and over, taken my money. Let me go and try out UPS. Let me go and try them out. Let me see if this deal is okay, right? Right there, now I'm in a big decision, right? Uber doesn't know that you're going to start driving for them. You could hop back into your Uber or Lyft anytime, right? They might send you bonuses and like, why is he not driving? He was driving with us all the time. Why is he unhappy? Let's send him a bonus. Oh, this guy or this girl just signed up with UPS, $38 an hour. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, hey, I'm actually enjoying this job. I'm actually making $38. I'm actually getting taken care of. I'm actually getting paid. I ask you, do you think you're going to go back to the one who took and abused you? Or do you go stick with the company that takes care of you, right? No better place than doing that with private trips because you take care of you. You are your own boss, right? Or do you go to a company that maybe respects you and pays you well? Or do you go out and start your own private company? Or do you get back into the hamster wheel and drive for that company? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my assessment. This is my opinion. You may differ on this. But right now, A lot of people are collecting unemployment or PUA, whatever they're getting, and they're saying, it's okay for right now. I'm doing okay. I'm getting maybe 80, 90% of what I'm used to getting. I'm staying safe. I'm not going to go and jump into that hamster wheel. I'm getting paid, right? Eventually, that train comes to a station and those monies end. This is not an ongoing monthly, weekly thing that you will get forever. Eventually, that runs out. Maybe it runs out in July or August. Maybe that's when it ends. Then we're faced with big, big decisions again. But right now, that might be working for 80% of the drivers. That's my guess. That scenario that I just painted is working for drivers currently. And that's the place I want to be right now versus running miles on my car, getting back out there, and maybe running a risk. Just putting that out there. Mervyn says, message about Lyft too long. I sent you a voice recording on WhatsApp. It tells you exactly what is going on. I was correct. Please read. I'm not going to even listen or listen to it or read it, Mervyn. I gave you the opportunity to go through it right here. You chose not to do that. So, you know what? I've listened to your record many a times, right? And again, I'm going to read some words there. I was correct. You yourself believe you're correct based on your story, right? You had a golden opportunity to put it out here and discuss it. You didn't choose to do that. Instead, you chose to say, hey, I sent you another recording, the same recording, reiterating once again what I believe because I was correct, right? And what I believe is correct, please pass on to other drivers. You had the opportunity. You still have it right now. You have like 30 seconds to make your case. Jump in here and start the conversation, Mervyn. Let's wait for you. Give the short version. Triss is waiting. I'm waiting. Don Whitmer's waiting. Do you have a link for the UPS jobs? Good question. I'll find it. So Mervyn's going to give us a short version of what's going on with him and Lyft. And then we're going to sort of try and establish if drivers are facing the same issue. Wicked Hustle Guy says, I'm just saying, Triss is way better at giving chances than I would. I'm going to work on being better. That's wonderful. That's a great statement. Mervyn wants to double down and say, no, I sent the details. I will explain. You had your chance to explain it here, buddy. You didn't. You chose not to do it, right? And I am not a free hotline, Mervyn, any longer. And I don't have any message from you, by the way. So that's it. No, I sent the details to you and I will explain. He likes to be in control. I gave you a golden opportunity to set the stage, buddy. Spoke to Lyft. What they are doing is controlled by their system. It cuts you off. The big problem right now is that the processing company for background checks is so far behind. That could be, right? But understand one thing, Mervyn. They ran a background check. Listen to me carefully. Correct me if I'm wrong. They ran a background check and they cut you off, right? That's what happened. Why did they cut you off? ... because that's the part you have to tell us. I got cut off because ABC. Now, the background check company might have a big backlog, right? Might be. The processing company has a big backlog, and you have to wait, you have to wait, you have to wait, right? You have to wait. That is the part that's frustrating you. I've given you all the ways on how to take control. You could have gone down to small claims court. You could have forced the issue, right? What you need to tell us is why, what is the reason? Why do they say you were deactivated? The fellow I spoke to was concerned, realized that this is wrong, said he's going to try to talk upstream and see if they can manually override the people they've disconnected automatically. Again, I'm asking the same question. Why did they deactivate you? What was the reason they gave that they deactivated you? Because I haven't heard the story from other people, right? Other people, their background checks were run. If they pass, they carry on driving. If they fail, they usually try to rectify it, right? Might be a low rating. Or I have private clients waiting on me. So the problem lies in the COVID virus, which they are blaming. And after he did check all my records, he could find nothing wrong. But you got cut off. So my suggestion to you again is go spend your $50, $60, file a small claims against Uber and Lyft. Force the issue, because you'll be waiting, you'll be waiting, you'll be waiting, and you'll be getting more and more frustrated. Do I know when Uber Hub's open? I've been trying to find out. No record, no feedback on that one. All right, my friends, I wish you a great day. Mervyn, you need to go to small claims court. Otherwise, you're just going to drive yourself crazy. You've got to force the issue. It's the only way to force the issue. I gave you the best advice ever. I think I've given you that advice before. Go force the issue. According to Lyft, they have not run the background check. According to Lyft, the system does it automatically on a certain day. Well, they cut you off. And first you said they ran the background check. Now you're saying they did not run the background check. I'm just trying to, what I want is like, send me the reason why they cut you off. Send me the screenshot why they cut you off. See, now you're talking. This is good. This is productive. I had Lyft check my complete record prior to find out if there was any reason that they would cut me off, and they have no reason, nothing wrong. That's what I'm saying. Again, there's nothing wrong. You go and file in small claims court for wrongful deactivation and get your monies back. Just follow my advice, right? Otherwise, that anger is just going to build up in you. Just follow my advice. Go and file, whatever city you're in, Vegas, go and file your small claims documents online today. Send them out, serve them, and then pick that battle with them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great day. 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm going to rock and roll. I have a lot to take care of. Got to pay car deposits, got to pick up clients, and we'll get back to you on the next live feed. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe. Thank you, and thank you again.